Hi there, I'm Dr. Pol, and these are 20 questions about having my own TV series. This is 20 questions with Dr. Pol. I'm a veterinarian first and foremost. And this is why the show is so popular too, because nothing is made up for TV, everything is real. I still love my work, and this is what I said. I was a veterinarian first and a reality star second. The reality show has stopped, I am still a veterinarian. How did you become involved in the series? Oh, that's because I had a son who wanted to start making movies. He was 13 years in LA, never got his foot in the door over there and came here and started saying, hey, we should make a reality show about you. What motivated you to share your story on camera? This was a reality show about animals. I love animals, I love being a veterinarian, and my son Charles saw that and he said, do your work. People want to see reality, and that's what you got. How has participating in the show impacted your personal and professional life? Because of the show, we made a lot of friends. The difference between this show and other reality shows is that the same people came back all the time. And yes, they all grew older together. They got families here. Yeah, one of the other producers got married and had children the same age as Charles. So yes, it was one big family. And the professional, that didn't change a bit, because I was a veterinarian first and a reality star second. Were there any aspects of life you were hesitant to share? Well, we had our private life, of course, and that stayed private. But otherwise, during the day, anything went. And that was the fun part of it, because we could just be ourselves and have fun. How do you feel about the way you were portrayed in the series? Fine. You know, I was bald and I always will be bald, so that was not a problem. They make us look very professional. They didn't put me on a pedestal or anything. It was just that I was a veterinarian and they filmed my work. And yes, sometimes we got dirty. What was the most challenging part of being filmed for the show? It was people that weren't used to large animals. And in the beginning, somebody got hurt a couple times, so it was really challenging to keep the people from getting hurt with these big bulls that we had every so often. After a couple of years, they kind of realized that I was the first one to be in the pen with any big animal before they did anything. So that was a challenge, to keep everybody from getting hurt. How did your family and friends react to your participation? They all loved it, because they were kind of proud that, my uncle is now on TV. My oldest brother and his wife were in there a couple times, and that is really nice, because his kids can now look at the show and see him again. So in that way, everybody was happy with the show, and sometimes if they were in it, it was always nice too. Were there any moments that were difficult to live during filming? Yes, there were some instances where Charles's dog had to be put down, and our dog, our Dane, had to be put down because of bone cancer, and he broke his leg. So they had to be put down because they were too old to have a leg amputated for our dog. And that is hard, but it is all part of life. And they could see that it has to be done, and it's not always easy. How did you prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for the filming process? Basically, it was get up in the morning, make sure that my hair looks good, and start working and just run over the cameras if they're in the way. We had a lot of fun doing it. You can tell sometimes where, I just had more fun at the camera than anything else. And Diane many times told me, she says, don't do anything funny in front of the camera because they'll use it. Well, that just made me do it more, and I had fun doing it. Did you have any input or control over the content and editing of the show? Not too much. Many times it was right at the beginning when they were filming and I thought it was not a good point. So Charles would look over the episode and make sure that everything was correct. How did you handle public attention and recognition following the show's success? This show is about animals. And people that love animals are good people. And this is the one that we meet wherever we go. And just yesterday, we had a couple from France to come by and say hello to us. We have met the nicest people, and we still do. And when they see us in public, many times they will just come up to us and still tell us, "We love your show. We learned so much from it." And this is what makes me real happy. What feedback have you received from viewers? What I like is that people learn more about their animals. And the more people understand their animals, the better it is for the animal. And this is my purpose in life, to make the world better for animals. It doesn't make any difference what. It can be from the smallest pet to the biggest horse. When people know how to take care of their animals better because of the show, that is really what I like. How has your perspective on the show changed over the years? Not too much. In the beginning, yes, it was of course a little bit not really nervous, but like anything else, you get used to it and you become a professional. It takes time to do it over and over again for the little things that we had to do. So if they wanted to ask something, we did it, and we did it the best we could. How do you balance your privacy with the public exposure from the show? We always are in public because that's your business. And veterinary medicine is a service-related business. If you do a good job, people come back. So, the privacy we have when the clinic closes. But when we go out, wherever we go, people will recognize us and tell us how they love the show. I'm from the Netherlands originally, and when we go to the Netherlands, it is unbelievable how many people will come up to us and say, "We love it. Can we have a picture?" Definitely. What advice would you give to others considering sharing their story or career in a show? Take Charles's advice. Make it real. In the beginning, we had a couple producers who wanted to make the show. Well, I'm a stubborn Dutchman, and when they told me to do something, I didn't. So they left. So if you want to be on the show or make your show, my suggestion, keep it real. What was your relationship like with the producers and the crew? Charles was the producer and he's my son. The main filmer was here right from the very beginning. Most of the upper people, producers, soundman, cameraman, were here for a long time. They were like family to us. We had a lot of fun together, and yes, we miss them. How did you build trust with the producers and the crew? Be honest with them. When you see me sitting in that dirty old horse barn, that was the studio where we were talking about the show itself and what we did and why we did and how we did it. And yes, sometimes we had to work together there in order to get it across the way it's supposed to be. But otherwise, we trusted each other to do the best we could, and that's what made the show a success. What have you learned about yourself through this experience? We've been asked to give many speeches, and what the strange thing is that I was always afraid to talk in front of people. At this moment, it's not that much anymore. It's not that I have everything on paper. I just start talking, and according to Diane, I don't shut up. So that really has helped me get our message across of taking care of animals. What legacy do you hope the show leaves behind? That people understand their animals and take better care of them than they did before. Animals are innocent. Why would you mistreat them? The best way, what I like, is that people take care of their animals the best they can. Would you participate in another show in the future? If it's the same kind of show, definitely. Not one day is the same in the practice. There is always something else. And yes, even after 55 years in business, I still see things that you've never seen before. And this is why another show would be very welcome, because there's always something that is different. Thanks for joining us at these 20 questions, and I hope that you realize a little bit how the show got started and what an impact it had on everything, including us.